Salute to the Cosmic Consciousness, Soul Control Family and Soul Tribe. Salute to the new subscribes. Salute to the peekaboos and passerbys. You hear me? But for those who consistent, for those who regular, one thing they can't say about us is that we slackers. You hear me? And if we don't look the part, to those who looking for a part, in the way that we create change, my question to those types is, what is it supposed to look like if it don't look like you? And that's why I'm here, because when it comes to creating change, when it comes to change, and when it comes to consistency, it's evident that it look like me. You hear me? Salute to everybody who find themselves in that place. But one thing they can't say about us is that we slackers. Stillness and abundance, loving light, health, and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, loving light, health, and wholeness. Stillness and abundance, loving light, health, and wholeness. I'm going to try to be brief as possible, but we got a little lengthy read today. You hear me? We're coming from the Metaphysical today. The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, for those who don't have one. We're coming from the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. And if you don't have one, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get you one. You know, the best investment that we can make is in ourselves. And when I say ourselves, I don't mean our external self. I mean our internal self. You hear me? It's easy to buy clothes. It's easy to buy makeup. It's easy to buy fresh kicks. It's easy to buy jewelry. It's easy to buy all the external things that feed the external self. But what are we willing to pay for concerning our internal self? You hear me? Because that's gonna make a difference. We coming from the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary today, and I'm gonna be reading from Joseph. You know, we've been talking about the Exodus, coming out of the exile and through the Exodus, and we had to go through Egypt. You know, we dealt with Moses. We don't dealt with a lot of things, but today we about to tap into the frequency of Joseph. You know, we've been talking about vision and things of that nature, and believing in our vision when nobody else do. And Joseph was a character who had to believe in his vision when nobody else did. You know, matter of fact, his brothers put him in a lot of situations. Joseph came from pseudo-mutuality. If you don't know what that word means, look it up. Pseudo-mutuality. 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 You hear me? But we just gonna tap right on in. Joseph, who was the son of Jacob, elder of the two born to him by Rachel, and she called his name Joseph, saying, Jehovah add to me another son. Genesis chapter 30, verse 24. See also Genesis 37, 39, 41, 42, 46 to 50. Jacob's blessing of Joseph was in Genesis, according to Genesis 49, verse 22 through 26, reads as follows. Joseph is a fruitful bow by a fountain. His branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and persecuted him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hand of the mighty one of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee. Or even by the God of, I'm gonna just break the thighs down into common terms. Even by the God of my father, who shall help me, with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that couches beneath, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of my father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors. Until the utmost bound of the everlasting hills, they shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Some of us been consecrated from those that we was born through. Some of us was consecrated from the families that we was born into. That's what I just picked from that. And on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. And Moses blessed the tribe of Joseph through his two sons as follows in Deuteronomy 33, verse 13 through 17. Blessed of Jehovah, Yah, Allah, however you know it, be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath, and for the precious things of the fruits of the sun, and for the precious things of the growth of the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the everlasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth and the fullness thereof, and the goodwill of him that dwelt in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. The firstling of his herd, majesty is his, and his horns are the horns of the wild ox. With them he shall push the peoples, all of them, even the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000 of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And both Jacob's and Moses' blessings upon Joseph, where the text says that was separate from his brethren, the margin gives that is prince among his brethren. B, a follower of the Christian doctrine, surnamed Barnabas by the apostles. He was a companion of Paul's in many missionary journeys. Acts 4, verse 36. C, husband of Mary, the mother of Yeshua. Matthew 1:19. D, Joseph of Arimathea, a rich man and disciple of Jesus, who begged Jesus' body from Pilate and buried it in his own tomb. Matthew 27:57 through 60. Joseph called Barnabas one of the two who were chosen to take the place of Judas Iscariot, but the lot fell to Matthias and not to Joseph Barsabas. Acts 1 through 23. Physical meaning of Joseph reads as follows: the state of consciousness in which we increase in character. The state of consciousness in which we increase in character. All of us Joseph, and for those of us who haven't woke up our Joseph or activated our Joseph, I think it's about time. The state of consciousness in which we increase in character along all lines. We not only grow into a broader understanding, but there is an increase of vitality and substance. Joseph is especially representative of the realm of forms. He was clothed with a coat of many colors. That coat of many colors to me represent the chakras externalized in his aura. So that means it could be seen. You hear me? Sometimes for those who have sight to see, you may see colors vibrating off me from time to time. He was a dreamer and interpreter of dreams. The phenomenal was his field of action. Among the primal faculties of the mind, Joseph represents imagination. This faculty has the power to throw onto the screen of visibility and substance and life forms every idea the mind may conceive. If the mind can conceive it, then you can achieve it in your externality. While the imagination is a very necessary faculty and is powerful and productive, yet it is belittled and often derided and scorned by the other faculties of the mind while they are unawakened spiritually, while they are functioning in intellectual consciousness instead of true spiritual understanding. Joseph's brothers persecuted him for his ways of thinking. I can relate, some of you can too. Joseph in Egypt symbolizes the word of the imagination and subconscious, or the involution of a high spiritual idea. Joseph in Egypt could be said to represent also our highest perception of truth, dealing with the realm of forms and bringing it into a more orderly state. Joseph, our high ideal of truth, comes down into the Egyptian darkness of sense consciousness, and under the law we will finally raise it into spiritual light. In the process, Joseph seems to die, but his bones remain. The substance of truth is an abiding presence, though its form may be lost to sight. Why is that? Because imagination is persecuted by the spiritually unawakened. Or another way to say that is, imagination is persecuted by those who have let their imagination dwindle to the point that it's practically dead. How often we hear people say that they do not now seem to realize such uplift has come to them when they first began to understand truth. Then they were so enthusiastic that they could think and talk of nothing else. They say that they often demonstrated for themselves and for others more easily than they demonstrate now. They think that they have somehow lost their grasp of truth because carnality seems so real to them. The external seems so real to them. They are right in the place that was occupied by the Israelites after Joseph died. Truth as a thing apart. A personality named Joseph has disappeared, but it lives in his progeny in the land of Egypt, and these descendants are oppressed by Egyptians. We might say that the ideas that make up the statements of truth that you have received have percolated through your mind, but the sense consciousness is ruling in you, and these children of Israel are oppressed. Instead of siding with spirit in every thought, you side with the carnal. We side with the external. We side with the forms. We side with the manifestations instead of the things that produce them. And you build up a ruling state of thought that remembers not the inspiring truth. Now there arose a new king over Egypt who knew not Joseph, Exodus 1:8. But truth cannot be destroyed, nor can true words and true thoughts ever be effaced from the mind that has willingly received them. The children of Israel multiplied in the land of Egypt in spite of oppression. Their power became a great source of concern to the Egyptians, who made their lives bitter with hard service in mortar and in brick, or material ways. The several visits of Joseph's brothers to Egypt for corn, the bringing of Jacob and all the brothers of Joseph with their families and flocks down into Egypt, and the final reconciliation are a symbolical representation of the manner in which we make connection with the obscure vitality within the organism and bring all our faculties into conjunction or integration with it. This symbolism depicts also the unification of the I Am, also symbolized by Jacob, with all the faculties of the mind, with the life energies, and with the substance of the whole man. They dwelt in the land of Goshen, symbolizing unity. See Genesis 46 and 47. Joseph, as the imaging, increasing power of the mind, refers to the imagination. For the significance of Joseph Barnabas, see Barnabas. That's for those of us who have this book. Joseph and Mary, the parents of Yeshua, represent wisdom and love, which have been ideas in mind, but are now to bring forth a manifestation in substance. Wisdom and love are the wings of light, family. Joseph might also be said to represent the Son of Man and Mary, the divine motherhood. Luke 2:40-52. Joseph was merely betrothed to Mary, yet she was great with child, so Joseph was minded to put her away privily. This means that we do not, in the first stages of the birth of our Christ consciousness in us, understand the process, and sometimes are moved to put it away from us. The soul is heavily charged with the divine life and so full that it cannot express itself intelligently because no union has yet taken place between it and the understanding. Joseph of Arimathea signifies the imaging faculty functioning on a very high plane of consciousness. Arimathea means a height. For the significance of Joseph, Barsabas, see Barsabas. Short, simple, and sweet, but yet deep and intense. For today's emoji, let's place a ladder. We're gonna place a ladder because we continuing to climb, up the staircase, up the heights, through the dimensions, through the consciousness. We continue to climb, so let's put a ladder. I appreciate y'all for your time, attention, energy, and effort. Thanks to the new subscribers. If you watch the video, place the emoji in the comment section, which will be a ladder, and that will be the submission for this month's raffle. And other than that, I appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe, comments. so forth and so on. And until we do it again, I love y'all and my name is Sabu the God. Peace, family.